Joining me in the studio, the Sanctuary studio for our monthly catch-up, Reverend George Penk from St Andrew's Church in Gleneden. Hello, welcome.
Hello, Lizzie. How are you?
Good. Do we even say Happy Easter, or is that like a pagan thing?
I would say happy from Easter Sunday onwards myself.
Okay. Yeah, true. This is sort of the hard bit beforehand.
Reflection and remembrance at this stage, I think, maybe celebration from Sunday.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Speaking of celebration, what's happening at your parish over the Easter period?
Quite a few services. So there's one this evening, Maundy Thursday, or Holy Thursday as some people call it, a commemoration particularly of the Last Supper, of the nights before Jesus died. So entering into that part of the story, which I think is always a really special thing to do. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, we have a Good Friday service. And then on Easter Day or Easter Sunday, also at 10, looking forward to celebrating the resurrection.
Yay. That's where we say Happy Easter.
Yeah.
And does that mean you've got 3 sermons to do?
Yes, there's a fair amount to organise for clergy in the days leading up to Easter, but it strikes me what a privilege it is to journey with people through this story and to really enter into it through worship, through prayer, through preaching, and just to really dwell into that at this time each year. It is incredibly special and it never really gets old. Yeah.
So today you and I are going to have a little chat about having hope in troubled times. In fact, that's the subject title of your podcast yesterday?
Yesterday's episode, actually, for Bible Boost, yeah.
Bible Boost. Hope in troubled times. Well, I mean, you would have needed a lot of hope thinking of the Last Supper. But the disciples didn't even know it was the Last Supper, right?
Yeah, it's interesting for us because we have the benefit of hindsight, right?
Exactly.
And we can look back and see the full story. But for them, this is their final meal with their leader before he dies. Some of them, as you say, don't fully realise that yet. But I think there's going to be a lot of tension in the air. They know that something significant is about to happen, right? And at this final meal that Jesus shares with his first followers, he gives them some final teaching, and he says some incredible things. In John 16, he says that they will have trials and sorrows. He says, here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart because I have overcome the world, which is an amazing piece of teaching. I think some people's favourite verse in the whole Bible, that one.
Yes, it's pretty up there.
It's incredibly encouraging, isn't it? But it's interesting to think about the fact that when he says that, when Jesus talks about overcoming the world, the crucifixion and resurrection haven't actually happened yet.
Yeah.
But he's doing what is often done in biblical prophecy. He's talking about a future event as if it has already happened.
Right, yeah.
And so he's saying, I have overcome the world, take heart. But at this stage, he hasn't yet gone to the cross.
Wow. Wow. It's interesting, I'm going to be really honest with you. I mean, maybe for you in your role, you really identify with Easter every year, but I feel like this year, for some reason, I feel a lot more connected to it, and I don't know why. But even you talking about having that service tomorrow night, what's it called?
Tonight, yep.
Tonight, sorry.
Maundy Thursday, yep.
Yeah, what's even the relevance of that name?
Okay, so Maundy comes from a Latin word, which is mandatum. That means commandments, or commands, and it's reflecting on the commands that Jesus gave at the Last Supper. So he told his followers to love each other as he has loved them. So that's one command. Also the commands to remember him with the bread and the wine. He said, this is my body, this is my blood. That was at the Last Supper. This is what Christians are still doing with Holy Communion 2,000 years later. So those 2 really important commands for us as Christians, he originally gave them at the Last Supper. He gave those commands, that Latin word mandatum, comes to us as Maundy Thursday.
So Jesus was talking about a future that he hadn't yet walked into. He was talking about us having hope. How do we apply that to our lives all these years later?
Well, he told his first followers that they would have trouble, but despite that, they could have hope because he has overcome the world, right? So trouble was inevitable for them, but so was the hope that they had in Christ and in what he was about to do on their behalf. And actually, both those things apply for us. I mean, nobody needs me to tell them that the world is troubled right now. we look at the news, we see stuff happening around the globe, and we probably see stuff in our own lives too. We can't escape suffering. We can't escape trouble. It is inevitable.
And we can say that in any year, right? Or any century.
Yeah. Well, until Jesus returns, that's probably going to be the case, right?
Yeah.
So the trouble part of it is inevitable. But actually, we still have this hope in Christ. And He is how we can have hope, even in troubled times. And we know that His death and resurrection have actually brought the ultimate victory. And we live as part of that. Take heart because He has overcome the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good reminder that when you're going through hard times, that it is a season. And as I was saying to you earlier, I suppose I said, Happy Easter, and you said, not yet. But getting through a few days, and when Sunday comes, we can celebrate. And for all of us in our lives, I guess, Sunday is coming. Whether it is this Sunday or there's some weeks or months to go, there is the promise of the good news of the gospel that from death comes life.
Yeah, it's Thursday, but Sunday's coming.
Yeah, so good. Reverend George Penk, for people, give us the names of your couple of podcasts again.
Okay, so we've got Bible Boost, which is a daily podcast, and also the 7-minute sermon. There's a new episode of that released every week.
Great. Reverend George Penk, thanks for your time. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Thanks, Lizzie. See ya.